Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chase. So today we'll be covering Bitcoin and Ethereum. We'll talk about ETH first, and then we'll go into BTC. Slightly new color theme here at the moment. Well, not necessarily new. If you've been with me for a bit, you've known I've used it in the past before. It's really just when my brain is getting complacent. Spending a lot of time looking at the charts. Sometimes you just it like lulls you to sleep a bit. So I need something just more exciting. It really started when I wanted to sort of scalp this move, and I just needed something that was make my brain think. The blues are down, the reds are up. It's a little not what people are used to, so sometimes that gets my brain thinking a little more, and yeah, that's just what it is for now. Okay. As usual, these videos are sponsored by Prime XBT. I have some new links. Check them out at the bottom. If you want to sign up, you get a 50% deposit bonus. Okay. So let's get into this. First thing we'll talk about is the recent long I talked about on Twitter. We are long off of 1993. I know a lot of people come to these videos because they want to see, how I choose my levels, etc. So let's break that down. Okay, first thing we do is we obviously see parabolic run here, and we should just say first, obviously we are having a very strong parabolic run here, but we have to remember that we trade the trend. Okay, if the trend, it doesn't matter how crazy it gets. If the trend is bullish, we're trading bullish. It's simple as that. So I was still looking for longs, and I found a really good long off around 1993. I talked about it on Twitter like crazy. So if you didn't follow along with that, just make sure you're following my feed. All right, let's mark out this first level here. We put in an all-time high, right, or a previous all-time high at least. And then where do we break down from? Well, we start breaking down in a major way from here. This is basically the price action in here is what causes this breakdown. We come up, resistance again. So we know that this is now a key level. We're seeing here resistance, resistance again. We're seeing confluence on the level. That's what we want to see. Okay, so now let's go down. We just start breaking it down, right? We can see us come up, we get rejected. We get rejected again, and then we close above. The optimal scenario would be to get on the retest to this level, but we did not get that retest. If you had saw me on Twitter around this time, I said, I'm looking to get in around 1935. Never got that retest, so I got front ran here, was what it was. We started to break out. Okay, so now continuing, we're just making sure the confluence is there, right? We're going to continue to see it when we're looking for a buy zone. So we have the resistance, resistance. Okay, let's tighten up this level a bit now that we're getting we're getting new data. So sometimes we want to start adjusting to this new data. Okay, we'll start breaking it down a bit more. We can adjust to this new data a bit more here, and we could see the support after we broke through the resistance. Okay, so just look inside this box. I meant to grab the circle, but still we could see all this resistance, and then it closes through. Okay, big candle close through, and then the retest on this candle, and that's what sends it upwards. So we know that this area here is the consolidation that began this move. And what do you know? Look at the top of the box is 1985. I take my mouse, I front ran it by a few points, and that's how I got in at 1993. Okay, now let's mark out some other stuff here. We have previous resistance right here. Okay, we're seeing that flip, right? Again, just how we saw this situation here, how it looked on the daily, right? How we saw major resistance here. Obviously, our level is moved a bit now to conform to new data, but we saw major resistance here, saw resistance again here, flipped it here, big impulse move up, okay? We move over to here, you get that tap of support, perfect tap. And then we have this scenario here, just like we saw earlier, resistance, come up, tap the resistance, reject again. So now we know that this is a key level. We come up, we close through it, we test it as support. I'm looking for this to hold as support, maybe a slight deviation, but ultimately I'm looking for this to hold and to at least run the highs here and then consolidate more, or just flip the highs and go. Okay, one or the other from that situation. I'm not sure just yet, but really just we'll outline that in a second. We'll see what's going on. But yeah, so that's it for the long position, right? We took 33% or something around here. Took another 33, 21.27. Posted that earlier. Basically closed this local top for now right here in this small area. And yeah, we're gonna see where we go from there. So let's tighten up these levels a bit. And we'll dig in a bit more, go down to the hourly here. And we could see this morning, put in a higher low off of what causes this up move here, right? What causes this up move here is this consolidation right in here, okay? Trying to teach you guys how to spot these levels. This major consolidation right here pushes us up, come back, boom, that's your buy area right there, okay? I was, you know, as long as this was to hold, I was still bullish. That's why I didn't close my position from 1993. I was keeping that open and gave us a solid move upwards, okay? So now we retested this once, only one time so far. That's good. We don't want to see, you know, a ton of tests to this level. If we do see a bunch more tests, you know, we could be looking somewhere around here. This was what caused us to break downwards, okay? So somewhere in this gray box could be a, you know, a lower time frame scalp opportunity towards the highs. But ultimately, you do have to consider that, you know, ETH and BTC have both been quite choppy lately. And I would really say that the best opportunity is behind us at the moment. Obviously, the best opportunity was to rebuy the support level. And that's just what it is at the moment, okay? If we get a flip of the highs, obviously we know how we can play that. We can do the usual, flip the high, play it, and, you know, whatever consolidation occurred in here, you put your stop below there. We've talked about this almost like every video. So yeah, that's one scenario. Or you could simply play the flip, right? You could simply play the SR flip, but obviously, you know, you get a higher risk reward if you just play the level, but there's also a strong opportunity or a strong potential for price to just deviate and you get stopped out. Okay, so something to keep in mind whether you want to go for maximum risk reward or whether you want to try to wait for more, you know, quote unquote confidence. Okay, let me take a sip of water here. All right, now we'll move into Bitcoin. This level's unnecessary. I was just browsing around earlier. So first things first, you know, apparently there was some type of rumor or something that Walmart was accumulating Bitcoin. You know, wouldn't be the most, you know, I would say it makes sense to see this type of choppy range in here with some big player accumulating. Totally possible, but obviously that doesn't really matter. We're just going to check out the chart and see what opportunities present themselves. So breakdown level, okay, resistance. I mean, this is just so obvious, right? Resistance. We put in this low here, okay, swept the low, and then retested the low. Perfect. You know, this is, if you've never done one of these setups before, I missed this. I think I was sleeping or something, but this is perfect, right? When you have a low and you sweep it, and then typically you can play like a super tight stop play with your stop below the low and just play the retest. And where would you target? You'd probably target like this level right here, this origin of this breakdown we could see on this candle. Could have got a quick 5.5 risk reward there, okay? So that's an opportunity to keep an eye out for with these sweeps type of trade setup. As far as moving forward, two options really, and you know, of course, you know, you could say, oh, so up or down, right? Yeah, but you know, that's what trading is. You got to just play the probabilities and see what presents itself. What I don't want to do is I don't want to get long here, right, with like stop below here and then I get stopped out and then it pops up, okay, because that's always possible. And what I also don't want to do is short this and then it comes up, it tags all these stops and then comes down and breaks down, okay? So getting long or short in the middle of, you know, a choppy price action area is not what we're looking for. We're looking for some type of, you know, like I say, quote unquote confirmation, because you can never be 100% sure, but you could typically get a sense, you know, that things are going to be pretty safe. We could take a look at this, right? Just look at how often, you know, this whole gray box has stopped price, okay? If we just blast through here, okay, any type of retest opportunity is a buy. It's as simple as that. You buy and you just keep your stop below whatever consolidation pushed us out. So, you know, if you come up and we consolidate in here and we blast through, you just look on the lower time frame and you try to find some type of retest and your stop's below there and you're pretty much good to go. That's a high confidence trade for me, okay? And in a different situation also, on this side, I'd be looking for less confirmation. I'm probably just a buyer in the black box, okay? And with a little bit of wiggle room, okay? You got to be careful about putting your stops below these lows, because on these, I want to say, I'm going to call them scary moves down for a lack of a better word, because I'm not personally scared because my risk is in check, but you can always tell that the market is scared because it's just people are just selling off and market selling off like crazy. And sometimes you do get a push below to steal those stops, and then you reclaim and then you go. So I usually just like bid these boxes, right? I bid them blind, layers, probably like 5 layers or something, and then I probably have my stop like around there, something of that nature, okay? But you don't want to be too tight on your stops in these areas, and also you have to judge, do I want to do the layered play where I may not get a full fill, or do I just literally want to buy the top thinking that people are going to front run and stop below, something like that. Okay, so those would be the opportunities I see for BTC, for the upside and for the downside. As far as ETH, we covered, how I got into that long position, where I looked to take profit, how I came to, find the levels that I wanted to play off of. I always think that information is very valuable. Hopefully that's helpful. And yeah, I think that's about it. We talked about some short-term stuff, but mostly chop in there, and we want to be careful about that. Okay. So as always, thank you very much. Shout out to everyone who watches these videos. Please subscribe. Shout out to Prime XBT, thumbs up, retweet, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys a lot. Catch you next time.